Japhet Tanganga, Wilfried Zaha, Mikel Antonio, three of London's brightest stars plying their trade in the Premier League. As of today, the nation's capital is arguably the world's most prolific producer of elite young footballers, most of whom have grown up playing in the estates, parks and cages of inner London.
I grew up in Hackney. When I was young, every time I had the opportunity to play outside with my mates, go bike riding, play football outside.
There was always cages to play in, or if there weren't cages, we played in the street. For me, football was like a life. I just loved playing it.
I lived, breathed, ate football. There was nothing else. And I feel like there's no way you can fail if that's all you think about constantly.
The area I'm from isn't, the nicest, I could say. But luckily for me, I had people around me that were always educating me, always speaking to me, always guiding me.
The main person who followed me around every single day was my dad. Like, he took me to training through snow, through rain. We used to break down and all that stuff. We used to push the cars, and my dad's like 70, so he was doing it when he was old, but it's just like I know how much he loves it, so I'll do whatever. So I owe a lot to him.
My mum used to buy my boots and stuff, but then that was it for the help. For me to even start playing for a team, which was a Sunday league team, Sunday was church day. So if I even went to my mum and said, I want to go play football on a Sunday, it was a no chance. So I actually had to get my manager to go and knock on the door and speak to my mum saying he will look after me, he'll take me to the football game, bring me back home, feed me everything, and then once she's back from church, I'll come back home.
Their early life was clearly marked by a shared love for the game and London's football factories, or cages. They provided a solid footballing foundation. But what makes cage football so special?
The cage, well, for me, there was no age restrictions. You could be 6 and you're playing against a 16-year-old. It's just freedom.
It was all about skills and what skills can you do to be a man and stuff like that. So I was crazy skillful growing up. Like, I had so much skills.
You just become technically better, because obviously you're playing in tight spaces, and then obviously that transpiring to a big pitch, it's gonna be a lot easier to do some of the things that people don't expect you to do.
I had an older brother and he had friends, and they would come and watch, and they always say, oh, this guy's sick, this guy, yeah, he's gonna make it. And you're excited because he's my brother, and used to make him proud because his friends are saying yeah, he's gonna make, he's gonna do stuff. And I think all of that's just been carried on to for the actual football pitch, just that no fear, the excitement, the freedom. I think that's probably why there's so many guys that are coming out from South London, even North London, just from playing cage football and just bringing that talent out into the football pitch.
London's cages provided them with the platform to develop, but like with any major city, there were many distractions and unwanted influences.
When I was younger, I had a little bit of a short temper. I was a bit of a fighter. These gangs have seen this and they tried to recruit me and stuff like that. If I didn't have my older brother, I probably would have. It's just one of those things where in those estates, in those areas, it's easy to just fall into those situations.
I've never told this to anyone, but I've been to parties or whatever, and it's like a fight's broke out, and then I've luckily managed to get home. I'm laying in bed and I'm just thinking, that could have been me, fighting someone, picking a fight with me or whatever, and it's just like, this is not the life I want. I missed out so many parties, and I used to think, oh my God, that's the party of the year. But then as you grow up, you realise there's a party every other day, but there's these opportunities for you to reach your goal. They don't come every day. So that may be what pushes kids from South London much more, because it's like there's so much stuff that can derail you and bring you to not so good places, and there's this where it's like if I apply myself, I could make it out, basically.
With his sole focus on football, Wilfried signed for Crystal Palace when he was 12, where he was coached by mentor Colin Omogbehin.
I met Wilfried when he came in as an under-12, and it was quite evident quite early that this boy had a lovely skill. Every time he got the ball, there was an expectation. By the time he was 16, he was absolutely unplayable at schoolboy level for me. And by the time he was 17, he was playing in Palace's first team, where he's been ever since.
He really taught me not to care and just express myself. Because he was like, as you get older, you're going to see certain things that you'll find difficult to make sense of. And there'll be certain boundaries, but you got to just push through it. Like, even him at the time, he was one of the only black coaches here. So it was like, he was like, you're going to come through adversities and stuff, but you got to just express yourself and push through it, really.
I thought he was aggressive. My first ever meeting, because somebody went through him in training and he got up and he wasn't happy about it. But then as you get to know him, you know that he's a lovely soul. He's got a good nature about him, a caring person, and he wants to work hard and progress and develop.
He always taught me to fight for what I believe in. I'm a passionate person, so it's definitely stayed with me.
Arguably, he's one of the best players that the club's ever had. So being a Fulton Heath lad as well, you know, a lot of kids from Fulton Heath love that. Everybody loves one of their own doing well.
Having progressed like Will through the football academy system, over in North London, Japhet was introduced to a future mentor, the late, great Ugo Egiog.
Ugo had a very deep voice, very loud voice. I think everyone on the training pitch knew when he was there, when he was talking, and sometimes he would get involved in the session, and he said, you know, he might not be the most technical centre-half, he might not be, you know, the fastest, but communication in the back line can get you a long way. He helped a lot of people in many ways that you couldn't even imagine. Just his presence as well, being there. It was almost like a father figure. What he achieved in his career, playing for Middlesbrough, Aston Villa, England. Someone I think he was local as well. It was amazing to have a figure like that at the club. He's been missed by a lot of people.
While Wilfred Japhet's formative years were shaped by Premier League academies, Mikel's journey began in non-league football. He broke into Tooting and Mitcham's first team at the age of 17, and the now Premier League striker credits his humble beginnings in the lower divisions as playing a key role in his current success.
Going through that route, it gave me the resilience that I need. Basically, everything I've learned from there, it was all about my strength, the pace, the power, because obviously you needed to fight down there. Like, it was everything was hard tackles, playing against big men and stuff like that.
The guy's got a presence, his physique, he's got an aura about him. He's basically a bit like Muhammad Ali. When he got the ball, everyone just stopped talking and was just a bit spellbound by some of the things that he would do that were just off the cuff.
Everybody in the club, if you ask anybody, Mikel Antonio, a baller, a role model, he inspires people.
He's grown up kind of the same way, so he's growing up in like a rough area, South London. So for him to like come to a club like Tooting, a semi-pro team, and to excel and go on to play for West Ham, it's just like set my mind straight that if I have like his type of determination and work rate, it can help me to progress. So he's kept me straight on a straight line.
That's nice. I like that. It made me slightly emotional, to be fair. Like, that's decent.
The difficulties of their journeys provide a strong message to the next generation of young players.
In my life, there's been so many knockbacks. There's been so many times where I've heard the word no, where I have been so close, but just not. Someone just not taking a chance on me. I've been for trials for QPR. They've gone to me, we're playing this match. So this is whatever you do in this match is whether you get scouted or not. I scored one, assisted one. He said I didn't put enough crosses in. So I didn't get signed. And I've trialled at Brentford. I scored in the first game, I assisted in the second game. They've said, he's good, we'll keep an eye on him. AFC Wimbledon said they'll take you, but we have to go to a reserve team. I said, not a problem. I went away from the reserve team into the first team. But then they refused to pay £7 for my registration fee. Because they wouldn't pay £7 for my registration, I went back to the Mitcham, signed my contract, and then I skipped forward all the way to West Ham. I was on the bench for 3 months. It took 6 injuries for me to get my opportunity in the Prem. I'm here where I am now. I wouldn't change a single thing because it's made me who I am and it's made me hungry. And I'm always hungry for more because of where I've come through, where I've come from.
There was times when I felt like I was doing my utmost best and I wasn't really getting a look in. I've tried twice as hard as certain people. You don't know what I've had to put in. Like I've gone to training without having boots, and I've had to play in trainers whilst everyone's got boots on, just because I can't afford boots like everyone else. It's just like, and then from me putting 10 times more work in, and when it comes to it, I don't get a look in, I don't play. Like last minute, I've worked hard all training, and then, oh yeah, you just missed out, you're not starting today. It's just like, it used to crush me, but it motivated me even more to get where I am today because of those moments.
I've had role models that have helped me to be where I am today. Like, it's not a finished article, I got a long way to go, but right now, I'm here because of a lot of role models that I've looked up to, that have helped me.
Football's all about opinions. The best opinion that you can take on is your own. Self-confidence is what's going to bring you through your career.
Always believe in yourself, because you have the final say. You're the only one that can destroy your own dream, really.
So inspiring. And another player who grew up in South London, one of the ones here playing for Southampton today, Ryan Bertrand. He first kicked the ball under the tower blocks of Bermondsey in South London, and he also says, just like Mikel Antonio, you've got to develop self-confidence or you won't survive.